Hey guys and gals, sweet project cars here with cool trick and affordable ways for the do-it-yourselfer. Not a lot of yip-yapping going on this channel. Here we go. Are you sick and tired of trying to fill your chips on your paint? Since we're on the paint filling chip extravaganza, this is our Mercedes project, and you put your paint in and it runs out of the chip. There's the chip up here and it runs down. Are you sick of that happening? I'm going to give you a few ways to stop that from happening. Here's our actual chip that we're going to fill. This is method number one. Let's say our paint chip's up here again. Let's see if we can get it to run. Take your hair dryer. All right, now I see it's trying to run down. Watch this. Okay, here's the key. We did not get the hair dryer on it quick enough. The minute you put it in your chip, let's say it's right up here, right where I touch it. The minute you put it on there, get your hair dryer on it. And you're keeping it up. You're keeping that up and rolling down. And guess what happens? It starts to get tacky. That paint chip will not run. And it's already taken a set. Now, there's an even faster way to do it. Take your heat gun. Let's say the chip is right here. Let's see if we can get a big glob of it. Paint does not want to run down. It can't. Not only from the air of the heat gun, but the heat itself. It's setting that paint up quick. Don't hold it on there long because you don't want to overcook the paint. Always make sure you clean your chips out with your lacquer thinner. I like to spray it right into it. Now this chip that we've got down here is full of wax. Okay, there's no bare metal. We don't need any primer. We're going to clean that out good. All right, our spot is cleaned out good with lacquer thinner. Pick, and all you do is go in, and hopefully you can see this good, and you scribe a couple of marks in it, just in the primer, a couple of small marks. What you're doing is building a ridge. You see those 3 scribes? Those little scratches will prevent the paint from running out of the chip. And believe it or not, that works. Another method, that's method number 2. Your heat is method 1. This is method number 2. And number 3 is keep all your touch-up paints in your refrigerator, especially if it's summertime and you're going to be doing chip filling. This is not the correct color for it. We've got the color ordered. But I'm going to share with you what happens when you do that. See how stringy that is? Paint is cold. Watch this. I start at the top of the chip, and I want it higher than my existing color here. And I leave it higher so that it runs down into the chip. Also, the scribe marks allow the paint to really bond to the car. This will not run. Now what I'm going to do just to make sure, put a little heat on it. Now we can warm it up because that paint is cold. Now I'm going to put a little bit on the left side of that, right over here. See how sticky that is? That's because your paint is cold, and that's what you want on a hot day. By the time that warms up, it will not have the ability to run on you. That's how easy and simple that is. Then we'll sand over this. This is probably one of the worst areas to try to fill a chip, and this edge is where you get most of your chips because of that. doors and parking next to somebody. Don't park your car next to somebody else. They don't care about your car like you do. We'll let that spot right there, that's not the right color, I'm going to wipe it off, but we'll let that spot set for no less than 24 hours before we sand it down with our 3,000 to 5,000 grit wet and dry. And you use a sponge and curve it right over this and go over it with your soapy water until that is flush. And smooth. Once it is, that spot will disappear. Now, some of you have been asking about pearl paints. Yes, pearl paints are very tough to do, but I've said it and I'll say it again. It will be a close enough match that it will look a million times better than a big fat chip in your paint. Okay? And if you follow the methods in the videos that I'm sharing in the show more of the video description, you'll be able to make that pearl paint absolutely almost undetectable.